The NH90 helicopter is not just another military aircraft. It represents one of Europe's most ambitious collaborations in aviation and defense technology. Born from the idea of uniting expertise from several nations, this helicopter is as much a symbol of political unity as it is a feat of engineering. To understand its significance, we have to go back to the late 1980s, when European countries realized that their fleets of aging helicopters such as the UH-1D, the Sea King, the Puma, and even the Lynx were no longer adequate for the challenges of modern warfare. These aircraft had served faithfully, but the demands of the future required something faster, stronger, more versatile, and capable of adapting to both land and maritime missions. That was the moment the NH90 was conceived, not as a single nation's project but as a shared vision. France, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands came together to form NH Industries, a joint venture that brought together three of Europe's aerospace giants, Airbus Helicopters, Leonardo, and Fokker. This cooperation was not just about sharing costs but about pooling the best minds and resources in order to create a machine that could stand on equal footing with the most advanced helicopters in the world. What emerged from this collaboration was more than just hardware. It was a declaration that Europe could produce its own cutting-edge defense systems without relying solely on outside powers. The NH90 was therefore designed as a multi-role helicopter that could thrive in any environment, from dense jungles to open oceans, from deserts to frozen Arctic landscapes. The NH90 comes in two major variants. The first is the Tactical Transport Helicopter, or TTH, primarily built for land-based missions. It can transport troops into battle, evacuate the wounded, move heavy equipment, and even carry out missions for Special Operations Forces. The second variant is the NATO Frigate Helicopter, or NFH, which is specifically designed for naval warfare. With this version, the NH90 can detect and hunt submarines, track surface vessels, provide reconnaissance for naval fleets, and perform search and rescue operations in some of the harshest maritime conditions. This duality is what makes the NH90 so remarkable. It is not just a one-dimensional machine but a flexible platform capable of being customized to meet the diverse needs of the armed forces that operate it. Today, more than 13 nations around the world employ the NH90 in different capacities, proving that the concept of a shared European helicopter was not only visionary but also practical. One of the most groundbreaking features of the NH90 is its use of fly-by-wire technology. It was among the very first helicopters to rely entirely on a digital flight control system, eliminating the traditional mechanical cables and linkages. Instead, pilot inputs are transmitted electronically, allowing the aircraft to respond faster, more accurately, and with greater safety margins. This system reduces pilot workload dramatically, especially in stressful scenarios like landing on a pitching frigate deck in rough seas or flying evasive maneuvers in hostile territory. Coupled with a cockpit that features multiple digital displays, advanced navigation tools, and secure communication systems, the NH90 gives pilots the kind of situational awareness that can make the difference between mission success and failure. Another innovation is the extensive use of composite materials. The NH90's fuselage is built largely from carbon fiber composites, which make it lighter, stronger, and far more resistant to corrosion than traditional metal structures. This is especially important for naval versions that spend their lives exposed to saltwater environments. In terms of performance, the NH90 is no less impressive. It can carry up to 20 fully equipped soldiers or 12 stretcher-bound casualties, making it invaluable in both combat and humanitarian operations. Its maximum speed is around 300 km per hour, and its operational range extends to roughly 800 km. With auxiliary fuel tanks, that range can exceed 1,200 km, giving it endurance for long-distance missions. This balance of speed, payload, and endurance is one reason the NH90 has become the backbone of many European operations, from combat zones to disaster relief efforts. German forces have deployed it in Afghanistan to transport troops and supplies in dangerous terrains. The French have used it in Africa, particularly in Mali, to support counterinsurgency operations. The Italian Navy employs the NFH version for NATO missions across the Mediterranean, while other navies rely on it for anti-submarine warfare and maritime patrols. Each of these examples highlights how the NH90 adapts seamlessly to the mission at hand. However, the NH90's journey has not been free of challenges. The program suffered from significant delays, technical issues, and cost overruns. Some nations expressed frustration over the slow pace of deliveries and the complexity of maintaining the helicopter. At times, critics questioned whether the project was worth the investment. But over the years, consistent improvements and upgrades have solved many of these early problems. Today, the NH90 is seen as a reliable and capable aircraft that has matured into its role, winning the trust of the soldiers and sailors who depend on it. What makes the NH90 truly special is not just its engineering or its versatility, but the fact that it embodies cooperation in a field that is often dominated by national interests. Defense projects are usually fiercely guarded by individual countries, yet the NH90 stands as proof that collaboration can work, even in the competitive world of military aviation. It symbolizes what can be achieved when nations put aside differences and work toward a common goal. Whether carrying troops into battle, rescuing people from disaster zones, or hunting submarines beneath stormy seas, the NH90 continues to demonstrate its value as one of the most advanced military helicopters ever built. It is a machine born not just of technology, but of vision, persistence, and the belief that together, nations can achieve far more than they could alone.